Hi there, this is Allison with Let's Go Travel Tips. First off, I wanted to wish everyone in the United States a happy Memorial Day. Today is the day in the United States that we remember our veterans, and so I just want to say thank you to all of our veterans and also to all of our service members who work so hard to defend our country and to serve us. And I want you to know that I realize that your service and the sacrifice that you make is immeasurable and irreplaceable, and so we are really grateful for all of you. So thank you. I wanted to let you know that today we are going to talk about what's going on in Alaska, as well as just some other quick updates on other ships, and then some more information about what's going on the Regal Princess right now and some other things that I think you need to know about. And so I appreciate everyone who has sent updates so far, and I will share even more of them with you tomorrow. So first of all, I wanted to let everyone know that the Crown Princess, of course, is still sailing up in Alaska, and we continue to hear of more problems. As recent as last week, I know people were still having trouble with the toilets. I felt really bad. A Let's Go family member, they emailed me and let me know here they are in their 70s. They have to get up in the night to use the restroom, so they have to, get dressed and go find a public toilet on the ship. And so I feel really bad about that. I feel bad that they're still struggling with that on the ship, as well as having itinerary changes, not only the ones that were announced to people who had booked those cruises before they actually sail, but some additional itinerary changes that are coming along that are changing even while they're on board the ship, which does affect the excursions that they're able to take and what they're able to do. And so that is still going on. I don't want to tell you that every day if I hear, because that just is sad, but I guess it's my job to update you, so I'll keep you letting you know what I hear. But honestly, if I were booked on the Crown Princess this year, I would have to really be thinking about the experience that I wanted to have. And if I wanted to go to Alaska and be able to go to all of the ports that I had hoped to go to when I booked the cruise, I would either call Princess and ask to be moved to another ship, and I would be firm about not making them, having them not make me pay a bunch of extra if it costs more to sail on a different ship for a comparable itinerary, because this is something that, when we booked a cruise, all of you who booked the Crown Princess, when these itinerary changes were not in the works, and all of the other troubles that we're hearing, that's a whole different thing than you were having before. And so I would either call them and do that, or if you are in the window that you can cancel your cruise, if you're either haven't made your final payment, so you're far enough out that you can just get a refund, or if you can cancel it, if you're still at least 30 days out, you can get your cancellation fees back as a future cruise credit and then book another cruise, whether it's another Alaskan cruise or a cruise to somewhere else, and then book a different Alaska cruise for next year. That is personally what I would do. I'm only telling you that because I just feel like it's my responsibility to kind of tell you what I think about things, unless you're someone that you've been there before or that you're planning to go again and it doesn't bother you to not be able to go to all of your ports. But if you are someone who is a first-time Princess cruiser and you really want to experience the lovely Princess experience, that's not the ship to do it on. Or you are someone that you think you're going to be going on this as your own only Alaska cruise, don't go on this because you're not going to have the experience that you were looking for when you booked it. So that's everything about the Crown Princess. I also wanted to talk to you about the Alaska land tours through Princess. Now, one of our Let's Go family members was really kind and sent me an update today. So as you know, we have been hearing the protocols have stood, and they are not updated on the Princess website yet, that when you go on a cruise you have to be tested. We've known that for a long time. But when they first issued the protocols this year for the land tours, they said you do not have to be tested to go on a land tour. Whether your land tour is first and then your cruise, or if you were on a cruise and then you get off the ship and you're going to go on a land tour, you didn't have to be tested for a land tour. Well, now you've got to be tested for a land tour. And so the nice Let's Go family member, Donna, who let me know about this, they are going to be going on their Alaska cruise tour beginning on June 11th. And so the notice that they just received, it says, please be advised that we have implemented a new requirement that cruise tour guests ages 2 years and older must now produce a negative COVID-19 test at the start of their pre-cruise land tour. This test must be medically observed and can be antigen test taken within 2 days or a PCR within 3 days of your land tour. It says you are not able to begin your cruise tour without that proof of a COVID test. It says at home medically observed antigen tests such as the ones that you get through Optum that I've spoken with you so very frequently about are accepted. And then it says all guests who are ages 5 years and older also must be fully vaccinated against COVID-19 and bring their proof of vaccination with them to the cruise tour to be able to check in and participate. It says also a reminder, it says you will also have to have a COVID-19 test aboard the ship after your land tour, and that will be supplied by Princess. You don't have to worry about that. And so thank you very much, Donna, for letting us know about that. I honestly think that they are doing that because they are having a lot of COVID up there. And also just a big note on everything that I read and everything that I see. You know what, there is a lot of COVID in Alaska, but I think there's a lot of COVID anywhere. I just happened to see, you know, Don, we followed him too, and he just tested positive. You know, he's on that Holland America cruise, and so our prayers are with him, but there's a lot of COVID everywhere. And so just be aware of that. A Let's Go family member sent me a really kind detailed email and let me know their experience, and they had their cruise and then their land tour. And so I think it was like 2 days before they were supposed to fly home, she said that her husband ended up having a scratchy throat and thought, well, maybe it's COVID. So he was tested. Sure enough, it was positive. And she said that now Princess has contracted with a company up there in Alaska called Beacon to handle all of the COVID cases. And so what they do is they want to take you back and put you up in an Anchorage hotel. You have to pay $300 a night for that hotel through Beacon, and if you want to have a meal plan, it's $85 a day a person, and they expect you to do that for 5 days. And so make sure that you have that knowledge. But then also she pointed out that somebody else that had tested positive was booking flights to fly home the next day, and they were just going to go home. And so here's what I tell you about this. On the CDC's website, when they are talking about what the protocols are with cruise ships, it is not a law that you quarantine if you test positive if you are trying to fly home in the United States. If you are trying to get a negative COVID test to fly home to the United States, that's a different thing. It's not a law either, but it is required that you quarantine for a certain amount of time before you can get that certificate of recovery. But anyway, so it is not required by law that you do that. I'm not telling you that you shouldn't quarantine, and I'm not telling you that you should quarantine. I'm telling you this so that you have information to decide what you're going to do. The really hard thing with them is, since they were going on they'd been on the cruise, they were going to go on the land tour, they sent some of their baggage forward to Fairbanks with Princess, and so here they are, and they can't get their luggage back. They've been calling Princess and trying to call and say, okay, we need this sent to us because we're going to be here in quarantine or whatever, but nobody can find their luggage and nobody calls them back. And so they're having a really hard time just getting their luggage back on top of having an expensive quarantine and everything that goes with that. And so I just wanted to let you all know that that is kind of how things are there. She said that she did not feel like Princess was prepared to have people up at their lodges this year, but I've heard some people say they have a nice time. She didn't say they didn't have a good time. She just said I'm sure that part of it is because like they're trying to get their luggage back and nobody can even find it for them or even returns their calls, and so it sounds like they're just tremendously short-staffed. And so I tell you all of this so that if you have got a land cruise tour booked for this year, be aware that there's probably going to be some glitches here and there. If that's a deal breaker for you and you can cancel, you're with, you know, far enough away that you can rebook for next year, do that if you want to, keep it this year. But I just wanted to make sure that you know what is going on and kind of how they're handling everything to do with that. And so, so there you go about that. Let's see. We also are hearing from the Caribbean Princess. I've got one of our Let's Go family members just sent a quick email, a quick message I should say, and said that they are now on the ship. They got on Saturday and things are going really well. I've just barely, right before I sat down here, got another update from our Let's Go family member Bill, and he said things are going well too, and I will give you more details about that tomorrow. But it sounds like hopefully the Caribbean Princess is done having toilet problems. If anybody is on the Caribbean Princess and you're still having trouble with that, let me know. It it made me think a lot last night. I got on the elevator with a gentleman and just, you know, asked if he had had a nice day, and he said, yeah, we had a great day, but now part of the medallion system is down, so we cannot get into our cabin. And so they're working on it, but they can't get into their cabin, which I thought, oh no, and I came back, but luckily we were able to get into ours. And so that's just my way of saying that unless you're experiencing it yourself, it's hard to know exactly what is going on everywhere. But I really appreciate so many of you giving me updates, because it does give us a really good window to what's going on. And so I'll give you more about that. And then also I've had some people talk to me about Rome, and so some people were wondering just through emails and comments about what places we think that it would be helpful for you to plan to see, what not to miss in Rome. And then I'm going to talk to you about what's going on the Regal Princess right now, since we're up on board. So first of all, just really quick, when you go to Rome, you're not going to want to miss going to the Vatican, and it doesn't matter if you're Catholic, because it's just magnificent. It is just beautiful. There is so much art. It's an extraordinary. St. Peter's Basilica is absolutely beautiful, and it really is not only a religious site, it's a historical site, and you put all that together and you're not going to want to miss that. It's the same with, you're going to want to go see the Colosseum, the Roman Forum there with Palatine Hill, the Spanish Steps, there's the Pantheon, and then in Rome there are a lot of beautiful churches. That is the tip of the iceberg. Those are the things that I absolutely would not miss going there. You're going to want to look like the Spanish Steps, for example. You just walk up to that and look at it. The Pantheon, you don't need a ticket, you just go in. To go though to the Vatican, the Colosseum, the Roman Forum, and Palatine Hill, those are all places that you need to have a ticket. And so I would definitely either book a tour that has a skip the line included in that, or just like for the Vatican, you can go buy a timed entry to get in, so that you don't have to just stand in huge lines. You'll have something of a line, I think, no matter when you go. I did notice that when we were leaving in the afternoon, that the lines were like much less than in the morning. And so if you want to book a timed entry and you know you don't want to spend your whole day there, that is a good approach. So I would do that. And then another really good resource, if you don't want to book a tour where you go with other people to see things necessarily, you could buy your tickets to be able to get into places, and they do have skip the line tickets. But like in Rick Steve's books, I really like his books. We buy them for like everywhere we go, and he like has walking tours of places, like of neighborhoods in Rome. He's got a walking tour that gives you all this information about going through the Roman Forum. Those are a really good resource. And so I always look at it like you're paying all this money for your vacation, like buy a $20 book and get everything else that really helps. He has a lot of really helpful information, both on like where to buy tickets, how to get the skip the line tickets in many places, and just a lot of really helpful things. And so I kind of think that all of you maybe know about those, but if not, I'll have Gordon link like the ones that we got just for this trip. And I did buy new ones since we hadn't been to Rome since 2019, and there's like some new information in there. And so once again, I thought, well, I've got the older book, but then I thought it might be worthwhile, and it surely was. And so that's what I wanted to tell you about that. I also wanted to tell you I'm getting a lot of messages from people. We've got Michael comes to mind, our Let's Go family member, but several other of you are still not able to get embarkation times. And I remember a while ago I had mentioned this, but it remains true. If you cannot book an embarkation time through your app, it just isn't doing it for whatever reason, it's not offering it to let you select one, just go to the ship. And somebody said, oh, don't tell people to do that. Well, that's what you need to do when they don't give you an embarkation time. I'm not suggesting that everybody get there at the same time. If you have an embarkation time, go close to your embarkation time. But we got there on to embark here in Rome, and the same stands true for the other cruises that we have been on since the restart. The Medallion's been the thing, and we have always arrived a little bit early because I don't mind waiting, and it's just worked out just fine. And so go ahead and get there. Most for all of ours, we've been in embarkation group A. Every time our embarkation time has been 11:30, and so that's probably about the time that you could arrive, and it would be okay. But if it's not, just know they're going to sit you down for a minute, and you'll just have to wait, but it's okay. And so don't let that stress you out. They are for sure going to let you get on the ship. If you come at the wrong time, it's okay. Some people get there a little bit early, and some people get there a little bit late. Sometimes they do a tour before they come, or their flight's a little bit late, or they're just delayed for whatever reason. And so don't worry about that, okay? Don't let that stress you out. The other thing, let's see. Let's see. Okay. Oh, and the other thing is you know what? If you update your MedallionClass app, you know, they had that new update come out maybe like a week or two ago now. But if you do that, and you used to be green laned and now you're blue laned, click through everything and make sure it's picking up all of your information. And under health status is where you're going to need to add the photo of your vaccination card or whatever form of proof of vaccination that you've got, or upload it. And then you're going to also have to add in your proof of your negative antigen test there. And so maybe that's affecting your status. I know mine kept showing blue before I did that. Gordon showed green the whole time even before he did it, so clearly their app still has some glitches. But check through that and make sure that make sure nothing's missing, okay? And then I also wanted to give you a window to what's going on in the Regal Princess right now, as well as something I learned yesterday. So first of all, today was our first sea day, and we got to meet some of our Let's Go family members, and I've met a few of you. I got to meet two yesterday. Dan and Geraldine were so kind to come up and say hi during the course of the day yesterday, so that was extra special. And then today we had a quick meet and greet and met with someone else after. So thank you all for the time that you take away to come and say hi to us, and it's really extra special for us to get to meet some of you in person, so thank you. So here on the Regal Princess, I think that things are going really well. If you've tried to watch our sailways with us, you will know that the internet is slow. It is slow. It is slower in the daytime than it is at night. The way that we've been having to do it to upload the videos that we have done since we've been on the ship is it takes all night. We start it kind of early in the evening, and it takes until we get up the next day for it to be, or else a little bit later on that day, to be ready to go up. So the internet's really slow, and when we try to do the live sailways, it's very slow. My app is not working really great. I cannot order any food on it or drinks, and I cannot see port guides. I can't see a full schedule of events. We have just been using our stateroom TV when we wanted to order any drinks to our room or any food. And so that's kind of where we are with that. Like I said, the food I think is good so far. The first night we ate in the main dining room, and I ordered like the roast beef with the Yorkshire pudding, and it came like with little carrots and peas, and it was actually really good. The meat had a really good flavor. It was tender. The Yorkshire pudding was exceptionally well done. It was really, really good. Gordon ordered the scallops, and he said that they were very good. And then for dessert, they didn't have any of the fancy ones, so I had creme brulee and he had the princess, what's it called, sweetheart? Princess Love Boat?
Dream Love Boat.
Dream Love Boat. It's like a brownie with chocolate poured on top of it. And but he really does like their ice cream. He said it's very good. He's more of an ice cream person than I am. And so that has been really good. The service was super fast in the main dining room, and so that was really nice. And then last night we had pizza when we got back on board the ship after our excursion, because we were well, I guess it was after the live. After we got done with that, we went and got some pizza just from the pizza place on the pool deck, and that was good. And so later in the evening, like at about 10, we just ordered a few snacks. And so I wanted to tell you that the room service came really quickly then. I would say like, what, 15 minutes? Really quick. And we ordered like the chips and guacamole, the cheese plate, and that cost $4, and the fruit plate, and oh, banana pudding. They have banana pudding. If you've visited the southern United States, you have not lived until you have tried their banana pudding. I'm just telling you that. But this was respectable. It's not as good as it is at a good place in the southern U.S., but it actually was good. And the cheese plate was nice. It just had like a very mild Swiss, and then a few pieces of brie. It does cost $4, but when we were on in January, it was a little bit fancier cheeses. But I know that like this is May, and I know at home just grocery shopping, I don't know how much cheese you're going to get of anything for $4. And so I think it was respectable. It had some dried apricots on there, and some slivered almonds, and it was just fine, and everything else was just great too. So I just wanted to let you know that I think that's going really well, and the service for it was really quick. It's come good, and every time that I've ordered just like a Diet Coke, or they also have that Sunshine Daiquiri smoothie that I really like. Well, I like it on the rocks, but they have the smoothie one on the menu that you can have delivered to your room. They always come like within 10 or 15 minutes. That service is really good. And let's see, we have not been to a show yet. It is really busy by the swimming pools. Hardly anybody is wearing a mask indoors. I want to say that the Lotus Spa is excellent. Gordon has already been for a massage, and he said that they did a really, really good job. And just a heads up, we went there and did a tour when we got on the ship, and so we'll have to get that uploaded for you. But if you book and do it on the first day, they gave him like 25 minutes for free extra on top of what he paid for. And so he said that they did a really good job, and if you want him to talk more about that, you let him know. And then also I went there. I can tell you that they have excellent staff. I got my hair trimmed up and a keratin treatment put on it, and they did a really, really good job. And so I think you can go there with confidence, and they'll do a really good job for you. I also, yesterday, I just, as we talk about what's going on with the Caribbean Princess, which it sounds like things are so much better there with the Crown Princess, what's going on in Alaska, and truly I think what's going on any cruise ship now. Yesterday I mentioned that we had that amazing tour guide, and she was saying how the Italians, especially in southern Italy, are very, she said they are very elastic. That she says, we just are flexible, and we are worried about things, but we are flexible with it. And I just thought that, I think that the good Lord thought I needed to hear that. And I think it's just a really good reminder for all of us with what's going on right now. And I think it maybe is going to always be this way. I don't know at what point we are ever going to return to where we were before. And you know what? I'm sure there was a lot going on before that we just didn't note. It was just a little different. But I think that it is really important, as I have said before, that you just kind of decide what's going to bug you and what's not going to bother you, and decide when you should go on your trip or not. It's like with the Alaska land tours, I started to think, if I had one of those booked this year, I would cancel it for sure. But then I also thought, what, I have no idea what next year is going to bring. I don't know what it's going to bring with COVID, or with Gordon and I's health, or anything else to do with our family, anything that would change the course of what we would be able to do. And so I probably wouldn't cancel it, because you never know what tomorrow holds. And so I think for me, the really good message is to be elastic, to go expecting to enjoy, but to also be really, really flexible. And so when you're deciding what you're going to do with your travel, when you're going to go somewhere, or if you're not going to go yet, you just really have to decide what's right for you. And then once you decide, be elastic so that you enjoy it a little bit more. And so I hope that you appreciate, I know that I really appreciate it, appreciate her teaching me that. And so if you've got any questions, put them in the comments below. If you've got any reports from any cruise ships on any cruise line, I would really appreciate you hearing from you, because it really informs the rest of us and helps us know what to decide and helps us know what we need to apply a little more elasticities to. And so I really appreciate you watching our videos. We are honored to have you with us. And so if you appreciate our videos, would you please give this one a thumbs up, or any that you watch, because that really helps us. It just lets YouTube know that someone is watching and appreciates the content, and so maybe they'll offer it to other people as well. And so I'll be talking to you all again really soon. You all take really good care. God bless you. Love you. Bye-bye.